know, Janis, you look a lot bigger on screen. You are. Oh, you are on screen. Okay. Well, I know that everyone's actually come to hear from you and not from me. But
You hope?
I just want to say what an honor it was to work with you in this project. And, you know, it really was. It was a 3-year project that we worked together on this, and it was a pleasure. The thing that is not in the film, of course, is all the stories behind the songs. And of course, Janis has her autobiography. But we wanted to make a PBS hour, which means it has to be 54 minutes and 14 seconds and not longer. So it was either to cut out one of those songs or to add some of the dialogue. So I chose to stay with the music in hopes that people would be reinvigorated with the power and the majesty of Janis's vision and the values she's given us for 40 years. So it's pretty remarkable. But I don't know, the Society's Child's, you know, you were 15, Larry Bird's team throws you on national television. That changes your life one time. But throughout your life, you've had a number of things. I think a story that people may not be familiar with, and it's not in the book. So I want to ask you to talk a little bit. They can ask you to talk about Society's Child. But the jazz Grammy that you got nominated for, as you sang, Silly Habits, I think that was it's a lovely story. So maybe if you start out with that, and then we'll open it up to your fans here in the audience, okay?
This is weird. A bit like being dead. I feel a little like Huck Finn to come back to watch my own funeral. With the cool shoes. Yes, I was sitting there watching myself on TV thinking, must get new shoes. John's talking about the song Silly Habits that actually happened. Well, I fell in love when I was 21 for the first time in a very serious, only 21-year-old way. First true love, first big love, first huge love, first and only love of my life. I was short. And I got dumped at 25, as you can only get dumped at 25 by your first love, and your one true love, and your only love. And so a few weeks after the dumping, I was at home with my broken heart, and I wrote that song. And I sent it into my publisher, and he called and congratulated me on a wonderful song, and asked how I was doing, and I said, well, my heart's broke, but I'm doing a little better now. And about a month went by, and he said, Mel Torme wants to cut that song you wrote. We're very excited. How are you doing? And I said, well, my heart's broke, but I feel a little better. Another couple of months went by, Torme called, and he said, that song you wrote, Silly Habits, I love that song, I want to do a duet with you. I'm very excited. Are you excited? I said, well, Mr. Torme, my heart's broke, but I feel a little better. So the Grammy Awards people called about 6 months after that to let me know that Torme and I had been nominated for Best Jazz Vocal Duet. And they said, oh, we're so excited for you. And I said, well, yeah, my heart's still broke, but I feel a little bit better. And then I ran into my ex on the street. And she said, I hear you took it pretty hard. I said, my heart's broke. She said, I'm really sorry. And she proceeded to say all those things that you hope your ex will say one day. I miss you. I love you. I was so stupid to leave you. I can't believe I was that cruel. I'm sorry I hurt you. And then she said, I will stand here and you can do whatever you want to me. You can say whatever you want to me. I'll take it. And I just looked at her and I said, 4 small words. Thank you so much.
Kai, this seat I'm about to fall off the stage on, so could I get a different kind of seat?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You want something with the back, John?
That'd be great, and then actually Janice can be taller than me, and she'll feel really superior. Anyway, questions for Janis Ian, please.
Or John. Or if you have none, that's okay too, we go home early.
Yes.
Wow. What was your musical background by 15?
Well, when she was 2 years old, I'll tell you my version, and then she can tell me if it's quite true.
2.5.
Okay, 2.5, I exaggerated there. She was 2.5, and she said to her dad she wanted to learn how to play the piano. And her dad was a music teacher. He was a great guy. And he said, well, you can't learn how to play the piano unless you know how to tell time, and you can count. So she said, how high do I have to count? And he told her, and so of course Janis then went to her mom and said, okay, teach me to tell time and to count. And was it 2 days later, you went to your dad and you could tell time, and you can take it over from there.
Thanks, I guess. You know, when I was writing this book, this autobiography, the thing that I was struck by over and over again was the good fortune of being born with talent. And I really mean it when I say that I consider myself in service to the songs. At the end of the day, obviously I want a career, obviously I enjoy performing, but at the end of the day, when you're born with a talent, and you're fortunate enough to be born into the right place for that talent, and the right family, the right country, the right time, when you do something like write an autobiography or listen to John talk about yourself, you realize how much of it is just the talent and how little that has to do with you, that all you've done really is nurture it and make sure that as much as you can, it was helped and not compromised. So my father was a farmer when I was born. We had a chicken farm, and then he went to college on the GI Bill, and he became a music teacher, a really wonderful teacher. And it's true, when I was 2.5, he was playing Claire de Lune very badly. And I realized that his hands were making those sounds. And it was a complete revelation to me. And it's true that I asked him what I needed, and he told me, and I went to my mother the next morning and said, I need to tell time and I need to count to 10. And she taught me. To me, that's the stuff of myth. I don't remember that. I just remember that there was this great moment where I kind of fell to earth with a thump and went, okay, I'm staying. And that was music. But my mom and my dad both agreed that that's what happened. So I had piano from the time I was 2.5. I had really bad teachers because we didn't have any money. Then when I was 10, I went to a commie camp, a red diaper kid camp. And we had people like Pete Seeger coming on the weekends. Richie Havens was our teacher for a weekend. Bernice Reagan from the Freedom Singers. It was obviously an atmosphere of great musicality and rebellion. And I picked up a guitar because everybody played. The counselors played, the counselors in training played, my bunkmates played. So I picked up the guitar at 10 and the Pete Seeger songbook, learned some chords out of that, and then was off and running on the theory that you can't carry a piano, but you can carry a guitar. So I self-taught on the guitar, but really with the piano background of 8 years, it's a lot easier. Anyone else? Here's